boys watch the girls while the girls watch the boys who watch the girls go by. Eye to eye, they solemnly convene to make the scene.
Ben Zeitlin è il giovane regista più premiato del 2012, in partenza per Hollywood, con 4 nomination all'Oscar per il suo splendido Re della terra, selvaggia.
What about the unbelievable actress? She was 5 when you were shooting.
Yeah, well, she was 5 when we cast her, and then she was 6 when we shot the film, and she's a hero. I mean, in the film, she's a hero. In real life, she's a hero. I've never met anybody like her in my life. You know, she's very much a child, and she has the heart of a child, but she has a wisdom that's so far beyond her years, and she is just not afraid of anything. You know, and all these things that have happened, all the acclaim, nothing changes her, nothing gets to her head. She's just. She knows who she is, and she is stronger than anybody I've ever met, and I think that comes through in the film.
The last question, was it difficult to shoot it?
Yeah, it was very, very hard for the film to make. You know, we were almost everybody on the set. We're doing this for the first time, and we were really figuring out how to do it as we went along. And you know, when you combine animals and water and children and explosions and you know, things tend to go wrong, and so the shoot was very much like an Olympic event or something like that. It was a physical test to get it done, but that was always part of the idea, and that was part of the adventure and the fun, and you know, it was just a beautiful experience making the film.
Thank you so much, all the best, and you will certainly win all the nominations at the Academy Award, okay?
Thank you so much.
Ciao.
Ricordiamolo subito, di solito è una frase fatta, ma qua è il caso di dirlo davvero, del caso cinematografico dell'anno. Avete in mano il pressbook, io ho 2 opzioni: o facciamo parlare Ben Zeitlin, o se no vi leggo tutti i premi che questo film ha preso e non basta nemmeno un'ora. Ne ricorderò solo qualcuno: il Gran Premio alla giuria, il premio per la migliore fotografia al Sundance Film Festival di Robert Redford, dove il film è stato presentato nel 2012, poi c'è stato il Festival di Cannes, ha vinto 4 riconoscimenti, il più importante è la Camera d'Oro per il miglior esordio di tutte le sezioni ufficiali del festival, e dulcis in fundo arriviamo a quelle che sono segnate anche qua sulla locandina, ovvero 4 nomination pesantissime agli 85esimi Academy Awards. Miglior film, e ci sta, erano 9, quindi è una sezione allargata, ma quello davvero pesante e, tra virgolette, inaspettato solo per chi non ha seguito il percorso trionfale di questo film, quello per la miglior regia. Come sapete è rimasta fuori gente del calibro di Paul Thomas Anderson o Catherine Bigelow. Ben Zeitlin c'è anche con la miglior sceneggiatura non originale, perché il film è ispirato a una pièce teatrale di Lucy Aliba che ha cosceneggiato con il regista, e poi quella sacrosanta, meritatissima, a Cuven Zane Wallis, una straordinaria attrice protagonista, che è la più giovane candidata agli Academy Awards. Cosa succederà il 24 febbraio al Dolby Theatre? Nessuno.
Ben, ti aspettavi tutto questo?
No, you know, this film was made as like a guerrilla production, so we were almost all first-timers, you know, me, the entire cast, no one had ever acted before, and generally, you know, in America, even if you're an indie film, you need to have somebody famous in order for people to see your film, in order for it to even play in movie theaters. Somebody has to be famous already, and there was no one on our film, and so you know, we finished the film 2 days before the premiere at Sundance. I was half alive, you know, showed up in the theater, and really that first screening, the reaction of that audience went to the press. The very next day, a distribution company bought the film. The day after that, I talked to the people from Cannes, and then it was just one thing after another, and it just hasn't stopped, you know, all the way to now, the entire year. It just seems like the film is like this underdog sports hero that just keeps on going. So it's just been the biggest surprise that you can imagine for us as well as I think everybody else.
Due mondi a specchio, ma tu come classificheresti il tuo film?
I mean, there's a lot of differences, obviously, but you know, I think that the bathtub is a place that is really about freedom. You know, it's a place where people are not depending on somebody else in order to live, in order to survive. They depend on themselves and their knowledge of the environment and their ability to, you know, survive any catastrophe, live off the land, and that gives them a, you know, it gives them a fearlessness. You know, they're unafraid of anything, and it gives them, you know, a set of values that I think is very different, you know, because, and this is very much based on the real places in South Louisiana that have been destroyed many times, you know. Living down there, and not in New Orleans, in South Louisiana, everybody's had their house, their car, everything they've ever bought has been destroyed 10 times in their lives, and when that happens, and when you stay and you continue to persevere in the place, you know, people I think really start to understand what's important, you know, and they understand that the things that last forever are your family and your culture, and you know, that's where your joy actually is, and not in your possessions. So I think that's one of the main differences, is that, you know, it's a world that's freed itself from commodities and possessions, in which you know, they know how to survive, and I think that's one of probably many differences. And you know, as far as the realism of it, it's it's not a documentary or a factual representation of the place. But it's very much inspired by a real spirit, and the details have been exaggerated and changed, and things which exist in slightly different regions have been put in the same place. But you know, South Louisiana really is like a different country in America. It's nothing like the rest of the country, and when you go there, you sense, even if you don't talk to anybody, you sense something in the air, that something is different.
Come hai trovato la tua incomparabile protagonista?
When she came in to the callback, I met her for the first time, it was, you know, it was that moment where the sky opens up and the light shines down, and you know, the miracle happens, you know, and she's, you know, I think she's going to be one of these actresses that, you know, plays the great roles in history. You know, she's just she's just so talented. It's like when you watch a 5-year-old sit down at the piano and play Beethoven or something. It has that level of, how is she doing this, you know? And as far as how I worked with her, you know, it was, you know, at first I thought I was going to have to use tricks and, you know, ways to, you know, make her, tell her a joke and make her laugh and film it and then edit it in, you know, but none of that would work on her, because she was much too focused and she was much too invested in the story, and so I had to really work with her like a regular actress, talk to her like an adult, explain to her, you know, this is the scenario, this is where the point in the story we're at, here's your motivation. And you know, the funny thing about it was the biggest difference was really the language, because, you know, I would say, you know, here's your motivation, and she would say, Ben, I'm 6 years old, you have to use a kid word, please, you know, don't use motivation, I don't understand that. And she would make me use, we would have these languages that we would change. So she would say, I would say, okay, this is a scene where Hush Puppy is very, very angry. And she would say, well, is it yellow angry, is it red angry, or is it purple angry?
Cosa ti aspetti dalla notte degli Oscar?
When is this ever gonna, you know, how much more can we possibly experience with this film? But, you know, my expectations are, you know, I think we're just so thrilled that it happened. You know, it's something that's going to hopefully cause more people here to come see the film, and around the world to see the film, and that, you know, is that in and of itself is extraordinary for us. And you know, we're in the company of some of the greatest directors in the world. So people that I have grown up watching, who really taught me how to make films, and so, you know, the experience for me, more than something competitive, has been getting a chance to meet some of these great directors and talk to them, great actors, and learn from them. And, you know, I don't think I knew 3 filmmakers when I made this film, and now I'm getting to meet some of the greatest filmmakers on earth. So my expectation is really, to get to sort of be a part of this, incredibly talented community of people that are part of the industry, and hopefully the recognition is going to allow us to, continue making films in our own way in Louisiana, and it's going to be something that supports, real independent American film, which very seldom gets, recognized in that way, and hopefully it helps other filmmakers and helps, our community continue to make films in the way that we have.
Beh, che progetti hai per il futuro?
I want to thank both of you guys for really. I've been allowed to participate a lot in the decisions about the voices and also the title, and it really means a lot to me. So thank you for that. What was I just going to say? Oh yeah, my future. Yeah, I'm already. I mean, I've literally. I just passed the 1-year anniversary of Sundance, which is when the film came out, and I basically have traveled nonstop all year, so I haven't really gotten started on the new project. But I know what it is, but it's sort of a secret still. I am going to very much continue working with the same group of people. Hopefully a lot of the same actors will be in it, and my team are not just my coworkers; they're all very close friends. We all live together. I've known a lot of them since I was a child, so we're going to keep the same family intact and continue making films in this very kind of renegade, homemade way, and hopefully continue doing that for the rest of our lives.
What's that sound? Each time you hear a loud collective sigh, they're making music to watch girls by.